It's Monday. Welcome to another week's reading vlog, and for this week I will be reading The Girl with All the Gifts, and this book's basically about zombies, but for right now we are following our main character Melanie, and she's a zombie, but like she's not like the modern zombies that you normally see on TV and what they describe in the book so far. She is smart and she can understand what people are saying, and they're being basically they start off where they're in a or like her and her classmates are at an army base, and they're being taught like certain things. They read and write and do math and all that good stuff. Like they don't seem to understand that they're zombies. Like they know they have to sit in a chair, they get strapped in a chair, and they get in these showers, but not like normal showers. Like they get showered in like this nasty chemicals that like it has a certain smell to it. But Melanie, she stands out in front of everybody else because she has a lot more questions. She loves her teacher, Miss Justinu, and she like has this dream of like saving her in a way. And they end up having this military routine, and she goes on to describe all about that. How every Monday through Friday, they have their school time, different kind of teachers, and then Sunday they just sit in the room all day. But all of a sudden, an outbreak happens, and then they escape, or she escapes. So right now I'm at a point where her Miss Destiny have left because she was going to have experiments done on her. There's a scientist, I forget her name, but she basically does experiments on the kids, like puts their brains under slides and sees what like basically what their bodies are doing. And well, while she's doing this, she decides to take Melanie, because Melanie, when she smells Miss Justiny's flesh or whatever at one point, she resisted it. Like she has, and then she gets a book, and the book has her scent on it, and because Justiny ends up sneaking it off to her, but she ends up getting used to the smell. She actually has a little bit more control over her urges to eat people than other people, because that's how they're able to teach the kids, is that the people take the shower where it masks their human smell, so they don't smell it, so they're safe. And because of that, Miss Destiny finds out that Melanie's gone, and just goes up and she basically rescues her, but like, or she tries to, but while she's doing that, there's this big army of zombies actions coming out and basically breaks into the army base. So, and now her and Sergeant Pox, that's how the mirror sounds like in the audiobook. Okay, sorry. So they ended up like escaping with her, but then he finds out that she's there, so they're trying to just come up with an agreement what to do with her, because she's like, no, we're not leaving without her, their children, that kind of thing. And that's basically what has happened so far. Oh, and I'm like under 35 pages into it, and I'm really enjoying it so far. And I'm gonna go off to my friends here in a minute. I had my sister and her baby over today, so I'm gonna hang with her. I'm just gonna go to my friend's house, stay the night, and then maybe tomorrow get a flu shot, and then get my September and October video put up. Other than that, that's all that's going on with me. I will see you on another update. Hey, I am in terrible lighting. Kind of looks like a toe right now, but just thought I would tell you I filmed some videos today. Didn't really read anything from my book, which is over there, Girl with All Gifts book in my hand. Pretend it's here. Filmed a video, got my one video together, and that's together on my thumb drive thingamajigger. It's on here, ready to be uploaded whenever. And I did another video, which I gotta put it together, put it on here. That's why I gotta do that, but it's there. I have a pretty bad headache going on right now. I think I have a caffeine headache, but I drink too much caffeine, so that's why I look so bad. I also do my sheets, so as you would have already seen, they would be put together. So I'm going to do that update for right now. Just tell you what I did. I'm watching Kayla from Books and Lala, or Lala from Books and Lala, whatever she says her channel is. Hang on, like, turn you around to show you. See, watching her. But other than that, that's what's going on. Yep. So that's it. I'll see you on my next update when I feel better, except for a horrible headache. So see you on the next update. Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I don't have a headache. I look less of a toe, so that's great. As you can tell behind me, that way, or if you can kind of see, I'm uploading my TBR, October TBR, September wrap up. I put those in one video because, you know, so much easier to do it like that. And, well, I did a little studying in the medical book. That's back that way. And I read a little bit of Girl with All the Gifts. And, basically, what's happened right now is that after the outbreak, they kind of went in the Humvee, and the axle, whatever, broke off. And basically, the truck's unusable. So they're on foot, and they're basically going back to the army base where all the kids are to see if they can rescue some people and get the scientist's stupid old notebook of her stuff that she experimented on people on. So that's a stupid thing. So it's what they're doing. But if you, I know I was talking a little bit fast in my first little clip because my sister and her baby and boyfriend, all that stuff was leaving, so I had to do a quick update right then. So basically, this is about zombies. Basically, there's just army base where they have these kids, like they're zombie kids, but they don't really know that they're zombies. So they mask their smells to make sure like they don't freak out and try to eat them. But basically, they're teaching them, seeing how they comprehend things, see how they receive things, see how they learn and stuff. And eventually, they sent off to a scientist who basically does experiments on them, puts their brains under slides and kind of see how they are. And there's this main character, Melanie. She stands out in front of kind of everybody else. She's a lot smarter than a lot of them, and she has this attachment to her teacher, Miss Justinu. And eventually, she ends up like asking us questions, and Miss Justinu actually ends up being emotionally attached to her and the rest of the kids. So she sees them more as kids, not really as zombies. Whereas the Sergeant Parks, who actually transports them to their cells, to the classrooms, and all that, kind of sees them more as zombies because he's faced in the front lines of the zombie attacks and all that stuff. So he ends up kind of being a little bit more rougher on her because he ends up like he likes Miss Justinu. You know that it's just because she's giving her attention more to her and all that stuff. But he still sees her as a zombie because he's like, no, they kill people, so you shouldn't have these affections towards them. And she ends up being taken to the scientist lady to get experiment on, and she ends up like saving her, or at least tries to save her. But then at the same time, these zombies end up like busting through and attacking all of them. They end up escaping with the Sergeant Parks' lieutenant guy, the young guy with them, and then Sergeant Parks, and then the scientist lady, and then Melanie and Miss Justinu. But like they don't know that Melanie was there, and they're like, oh my god, what the heck? And then they're constantly having this debate of what they're gonna do with her, or she's in or out of the car, or in or out of the shelter that they're staying at. And well, but she ends up having a little bit more control over her urges because Miss Justinu actually ended up going in her cell at one point and is like, oh my god, are you okay? And then she smells her, and then she ends up kind of freaking out, but she has restraint over herself, and she's like, no, get away. And then she ends up kind of calming herself back down, and Miss Justinu gives her a book. And it's like Greek mythology, which she loves, sneaks it in her back of her little chair that she's strapped into when she goes into her cell. And then she's holding the book, and then she kind of gets that feeling of the animal urge to kind of eat something, but then after a while she gets used to the smell, so she has a more restraint over her urges to eat people. But when Jackson ends up saving Miss Destiny at the same time during this outbreak, she actually ends up like killing one of those guys that tries to kill her, but she ends up still having more restraint whenever she gets in the car and she's actually actively being zombified and actively being like, I need to eat something and all that stuff. She actually has a lot of restraint where she's holding herself back, and she finally, when she's let out of the car, she gets away from the smell and gets herself under control. So that's one of the things I thought was very interesting, is that Melanie, she has restraint over herself to not eat people. Like, she has that mindset of like, I can't, this is wrong, you know, that kind of thing. She feels guilt over killing those two men that tried to attack Miss Destiny, even though they would kill her and Miss Destiny, or made her do things even worse. But they're having a constant debate whether what to do with her, because see, they're like, she's a zombie, but like, the scientist lady's like, we need to keep her because she's part of my experiments and stuff like that. And the sergeant guy's like, no, we need to kill her because she's going to kill us all. And Miss Destiny's like, no, because she's a child. And so right now they're actively going to the army base and trying to see if they can save some people. And the scientist lady saw this one zombie lady and wanted to go check her out, and they ended up attacking, and well, she was stupid, so I don't know what's gonna happen after that. But that's where I'm at right now. I am currently on page 184, 185, about almost 50% of the way through it. So I'm gonna really bust through this and try and get it done by this week, so I can get to Dracula. So I can get to Dracula and maybe, you know, physically read this alongside it just a little bit. So like, that's my plan, because those are my like 4 books I was gonna read for this month, and that's it. So I gotta go to work in like 15 minutes, so that's great. My video is like, well, it has 12 minutes left, so that's great. So that'll be uploaded, because I have another video that I have already set up and on my flash drive that, as I told you last night, I think, I don't remember, I had a really bad headache. So that's probably what I'm gonna do, and go to work and then read more of this on my break at some point. I'm probably gonna dishes tonight, which I wish I could wear headphones, at least one earbud in to listen. Maybe I can finagle that somehow. We'll see if I can do that. If Megan Smith is here, probably not, but that's it. I'll see you on my next update. Hey, it's Thursday night. Well, technically it's Friday, but it's Thursday night, midnight, whatever. Just finished Girl with All the Gifts. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. So what basically ended up happening is that they ended up running away from all the zombies, stuff like that, and then Melanie ends up finding out what she is. She finds out that she is a hungry. That's what they're called in this book. They end up finding out that she's hungry, and she ends up finding like a whole bunch of children. They're just like her, but like they're not really taught. They're basically like wild children, kind of running around and eating people. And like one of the sergeant, I know, private, whatever, what's his face, one of the soldier guys that was with them ends up getting eaten and dies. And then the scientist lady, I can't say her name, so I'm not gonna try and pronounce it and butcher it. So scientist lady ends up getting blood poisoning. She's not dying anyway, but Melanie ends up getting some information about like there's these like these pores or pods or whatever. That's from what I understand of it. This is like the sciencey bits I don't really understand. So yeah, so we're gonna go with it. There's these pores that are growing on like these trees or whatever, or off the zombie people that are being in the earth or whatever. And basically she learns that there's this new generation of people that are going to be just like her, and she ends up releasing them to where like there's gonna be a new world and new people, but like they're gonna be hungries, but not like the uncontrollable hungries. They're gonna be just like her, and it ended up just being her and Miss Destiny at the end. Her at the end, and they end up just, you know, together, and she's gonna teach the children, so they're gonna grow up to be adults or whatever, and they're gonna be like, it's gonna be like a new race of people, basically, from what I understand from that part. And the sergeant guy, Sergeant Parks, ends up dying, so that was good. It was interesting to see with Melanie's perspective and actually her finding out certain things and who she is, and you know, the sciencey parts about her and everything. That kind of went over my head, not gonna lie, but you know, that's fine. It's okay. I enjoyed it though. It was 4 stars, and I just like the parts where the Melanie parts was like, she thinks like a child, but yet she thinks she's smarter than that, you know? Like, she's more than just a zombie, but when she finds out, she's like, she didn't know this whole time, so she finds out, and it's very heartbreaking to see that she didn't know this time, and she finds out, she's like, oh. And so when her and Miss Sergeant Parker actually end up having an understanding between each other, she actually ends up towards like the other half part, whatever, like towards, I'll say like towards like this part, she actually ends up trying to prove herself with him, trying to gain his trust the whole entire time. So that was interesting, and I love the parts where he ends up giving her enough trust to send her out places and actually using her as an ally, you know? That was nice. I really liked that too. But she finally realizes that, you know, the only way to cure it is just to open the pores and just let it in, you know? Because you can't, because the virus is, it's actually fungus. They call it a fungus that's in the brain or whatever. And it's uncurable, so you have to just go along with it. So she ends up just accepting it, and so this will be the new people. That's what she said. And 4 stars, and I just immediately went into Dracula. I have the audiobook on the Libby app, and oh my god, the audiobook is so great. Okay, I'm like 12 and 13 pages in, and like the audiobook is hang on, what is it? Well, it's one of those ones that has like a multi-reader. It's like it's a multi-reader one. Is that one? If you can kind of see. If you can see that. It's that one. It's like, it's so good. Like, the guy who narrates like Dracula sounds like Antonio Banderas. It's kind of funny, but it's so good. But like, there's this part where like the horses are riding up to go get like Mr. Harker, and then like Jonathan Harker, not Mr. Harker. Why did I say that? And like, they actually make like horse sounds, and like the galloping of the horses, and like the snorting of the horses, and like they actually make like different characters' voices. It's, oh my god, it's so good. It makes me think of like, okay, I like this cassette tape, right? Yes, I had a cassette tape and a cassette player when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Okay, I remember really having like this whole cassette tape that had like a fairy tale stories on it, and like one side had like all the sound effects in it, and I remember just staying up like at night. I guess I don't know how long, but like just listening to it, and I would have to listen to the other side. Before I realized I could rewind it, but I have to listen to it, and I've listened to it so many times. I remember I always preferred the one side because it had like all of the sound effects, and it makes me think of that, and I feel like this rereading this book is going to be so much more enjoyable to read since I'm going to have that sound effects. I feel like I'm going to be right in it, so I'm very, very excited about that. Like, that made me so happy. Like, when like this German lady started talking, I was like, oh, what? It was a different voice. It was so awesome. I'm like so stoked about it. I think that's it. I think I'm just going to read. I feel like reading more of this, I gotta brush my teeth too, because it's really bothering me to like, do you ever like get like this fuzz feeling on your teeth, and it's just like, oh, I gotta brush my teeth. I gotta do that, and then I think I'm gonna read more this book, and then just relax, because tonight at work was not such a good night. It was one of those nights where I feel like crap about myself and everything else. It was really not my fault, but you know, that's okay. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'll get back to you with this if anything happens, or excitement, or whatever. Good morning, it's Friday. It's noon, well, good afternoon, I guess, but it's still morning to me. It's 12:01. That's what time it is, and I am 80 pages into Dracula. And if you didn't know, Dracula is told in journal form and in news articles, stuff like that. So you're reading this through like diary entries through all the characters and some of the news article that's pasted in their journals. As of right now, Jonathan Harker, he is trapped in I need to quit saying I noticed that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna work on that, okay? Promise. Jonathan is stuck in Castle Dracula's house, or Dracula's castle, basically. It's called Castle Dracula. Well, he's stuck there, and Mina's worried about him, and she's like, haven't seen him in days, haven't got any letters or whatever, and her friend just got engaged. Well, she got proposed to 3 times, so that's fun. She said yes to 1, and the other 2 are her friends, so they took the rejection pretty well. And there was a ship that's floating through, would be where they live in England, and all the people are dead, and the only thing that was on there was like soil. So there's a dog that comes by, and it was on the ship, and they don't know where it came from, which you kind of get the hints of that, you know, Dracula can turn into like mists, and he can turn into a dog, so you're getting that kind of format and stuff. But the audiobook is phenomenal. Like, you get all the sound effects, like when we're talking about like the ship and all the stuff that happened, like with it, you know, with the storm and stuff. Like, you get like all of that. Like, you get like the sound effects of the storm, and when this guy who's talking about the dead, I couldn't barely understand him, but that's okay. You get like these little, oh, I said it again, I'm sorry. You get like the sound of seagulls and stuff. It's so cool. Like, you get, when the dog pops up, you got a dog sound effect. It's amazing, and I'm getting a lot more out of it because of this audiobook, so I love it. So that's just about it. That's what I'm gonna go with for the day. I'm gonna try and get more into this as possible, that kind of thing. So that's it. So you want to have something new to say? Good morning, everyone. As you can see, we have a visitor. There's Muddy. He's just snoozing. Not really snoozing, he's just laying there. He's waiting for Dad to get up. So, yeah. Anyways, it's, 11:30 in the morning. Oh, there he is. He's up. Anyways, 11:30 didn't update you on Friday night because, well, I did a new thing at work and it kicked my ass. but I expected it to kick my ass a little bit because, you know, it was new. There's probably a big old because I forgot to turn on the mic again. That's okay. That's fine. Anyways, hopefully you got the first part of that. Muddy's visitor didn't update because she did anything. That work kicked my ass. Expected it. That's it. 11:30. Hi. That's basically what I said. Didn't catch the first part of that. Anyways, I'm about 111 pages into Dracula, which isn't really that long. It's like about 365 pages, so it's really not that long, but it feels like it. It feels hefty. This book feels hefty, but it's not. And I just got, from the Libby app, Needful Things, which is his short story series. Oh, no, it's not. Oh my god, it's not. Oh, damn. Okay, so, that's not that. Okay. What was I thinking? Is this other book that I was thinking that was the short stories? Okay, Needful Things is not a short story. So, a slight change of plans. I think I may, after I get done with this, I may just go on ahead with this. I don't know. The one thing is that it's pretty hefty. It's 798 pages, so yeah. Or 802. I believe it's 802 pages, so. Okay. I wonder how many people are waiting for it. Okay, so far it doesn't say anyone's waiting for it. So hopefully maybe it'll stay like that. So I can just like, listen along to it. So I guess that's the plan for that. Nothing really has happened much in this, except for Jonathan Harker is now in. He was at a St. Mary's Church or whatever, like where his sisters are, you know. He was being taken care of. He was diagnosed with brain fever. Everything that happened to him. Amy was there. They got married, and that's it. And I like the character of Renfield. Let's talk about Renfield for a minute, because Renfield, he is so like ridiculous. Like he's that oh god, I have to be honest today. He's the guy who's in the asylum being taken care of, but it seems like him and Dracula are connected in some sort of way. So he's like always freaking out, like especially when Dracula is like near. He's like having these weird fits. He escapes like twice, and he keeps going to the abbey where Carfax Abbey where where Dracula's actually supposed to be at and everything. So he eats like spiders and flies, and he seems to have that obsession with like life and like blood and that kind of thing, which I think he's a hoot just to kind of read about, because he's always like just saying random things, and like he's saying things in riddles, but some sort of way him and Dracula are connected, which I don't think they confirm that they're connected, but I don't think that's really explained why they're connected. But like that's his master somehow. I don't know how he's his master. I don't know how they ended up being like that. I don't know. But I just like him. He's always just like doing the little thing. First he wanted like a little cat. He begged for it. Then he's like, no, I have no use for a cat or a kitten. I have higher things to do. He first started collecting flies, and then he started getting spiders, and he wanted a cat. But he actually got a bird somehow in the asylum, and actually trained the bird, but he ended up eating it. Yeah, he ended up eating the bird. And I ended up having to go into the hospital area of the asylum to get the feathers out. So that was interesting. Which I think is just interesting just to read from his perspective, or at least not really from his perspective, from the Diary of John Seward. So reading about him, he's just fun to read about, even though he's kind of off the walls. It's nice. It's kind of fun. But that's about it. I have nothing else to say right now except for a little cute Muddy. Let's see if we can zoom in on him a bit. If I can find that zoom button. Look at him. Yep, that's him. I guess I will see you. Oh, I guess I am ending this vlog, okay? I told you that before, didn't I? I hope you guys enjoyed this reading vlog. I actually read almost like 1.5 books, so not really half books, but I actually read more than one book this week, so at least you're not seeing me just read one book. That was interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading vlog, and I hope you guys enjoying your morning, day, evening, night, wherever you guys are at in the world. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that you want to do, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!